2023 was the worst year of my life. My father-in-law had a stroke in January and has been in a mental health facility ever since. The OGL situation had the entire TTRPG community at its own throat for the entirety of this year. My back was thrown out in February, and I was bedridden for 4 straight months to the point where I couldn't even sit comfortably in a chair. My mother-in-law passed away in May, causing me and my partner to panic move into their house so that somebody can take care of it. We also had to take care of my brother-in-law, who has Down syndrome, for about 7 months before we could find him a proper home with a caretaker who could give him the kind of daily life he needed. This house is poorly assembled. A lot of the construction decisions make absolutely no sense, so there's a lot of fixing up that we've already had to do and still need to do. And the entirety of the estate regarding my mother-in-law's will has yet to be fully processed, just due to everything else going on this year. And this is just my side of things. My partner has had her own struggles this year, and there's plenty more that I'm not even discussing here. I have grown as a person more in the past 12 months than in the 27 years preceding this year. And, it's true what they say, with trauma comes growth, and I was lucky enough to live a life without much trauma, and as such, there was a lot I had to learn, and a lot I learned in a very short amount of time this year. The reason I'm telling you all of this is more so to reaffirm myself, because I refuse to let 2024 be a bad year. I'm not going to let this year have a repeat. We're not going to run it back. We're not going to do it again. I am making conscious efforts. Obviously, I can't control the will of the universe, but I can control myself, my work ethic, my personality, my outlook, and all of that is going to be at the forefront of my mind for the entirety of 2024. What does that mean regarding you? Why am I telling you, the random Known At Ones viewer who I just made incredibly sad on New Year's Day? Why am I telling you this? Well, because a big majority of that mental health, that mental positivity focus is going to be put into my job. I have not given my job the attention it deserves this entire year. There's always been something going on. I've always had a reason to procrastinate or put things off or whatever. I've always had a reason to feel bad for myself, and I'm not going to let myself do that anymore. So the Known At Ones channel on 2024 is going to be my primary focus in my life. I'm going to be giving this job more than I ever have, starting with, obviously, the YouTube channel itself. Now, a lot of you aren't going to be happy to hear this, but there is going to be a pretty sizable pivot in my content, which you've already seen this past month. I am still going to be covering Pathfinder content. I'm going to finish all of my major class guides, and whenever a new book comes out, you'll get my basic overview of the book, as well as new classes and whatnot that come out. What I'm not going to be doing is covering the minutia. I'm not going to keep covering the archetypes. I'm probably not going to cover all of the ancestries. I'm not going to keep making random videos about single magic items. That's just not what I want to do anymore. After 4 years, reading from a book and regurgitating it to you has gotten a little bit stale. It doesn't give me that creative satisfaction that it used to. It's time to evolve the channel, and I think this is something I should have done a year, maybe even 2 years ago, but I'm pivoting into something that I do have a passion for, and that is TTRPG news coverage. New releases, new business decisions by Hasbro, Paizo, whatever. I want to cover all of that from the point of view of a consumer. I am not a news outlet. I'm not Polygon, I'm not Dicebreaker, I'm not Channel 5 WABI. I am a guy who plays these games, and I want to be able to talk about this news from that point of view, from the average Joe Schmo TTRPG enjoyer. Now, I would obviously be remiss not to talk about my really poor performance in my video last week. It was biased, it was not well researched, and I absolutely own up to all of that. I've gotten some great advice from the comment section as well as from some of my friends in the journalism field, and I am applying all of that going forward. This was a massive learning experience for me, and I'm going to apply that experience to my news coverage in 2024. Now, all of that being said, I hope I'll be able to cover mostly positive things next year. You know, I don't enjoy covering negative aspects of things. You know, I've never been a drama channel. I've never wanted to do much of that. Obviously, it performs better in the algorithm, so sometimes the temptation does grip my dark heart. But overall, I'm going to be focusing on the exciting new books, people innovating the TTRPG genre, probably talking about some of the video games inspired by TTRPGs. Hell, I might make a video on 40k Rogue Trader. I don't know. This year is going to be the Wild West for my channel as we feel around and explore the new content in this pivot. And I really hope you'll stick around for it because it's going to be fantastic. I'm also planning on collaborating with a bunch of other creators this year. I've been in my own little bubble for way too long. Collaborations sort of fell by the wayside, especially this year because of everything going on, but even 2022, I didn't do a whole lot of collabs with other YouTube creators, especially in the Pathfinder space or the TTRPG space at large. So I would love to do more of that this year, expand the community, see, interact with other people. So hey, if you know of a creator or you are a creator yourself, feel free to reach out either on this video or DM me on Twitter or Discord or whatever. I want to collab. Also, on top of all the new YouTube content, Patreon is getting revamped and simplified. There's just going to be one pledge for one set of rewards. I don't have a full grasp of what those rewards are going to be, so there's going to be a more proper Patreon update in the near future once I figure that out. I might step away from the homebrewed content. It's fun, but I think I've learned that I just can't consistently create homebrew on a regular basis. And especially if I'm pivoting away from Pathfinder, I don't necessarily just want to keep having my Patreon be only Pathfinder. So if you've got some cool ideas regarding the TTRPG genre as a whole for the Patreon, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll check it out, take it into consideration, but keep your eyes peeled for Patreon updates. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of different types of content coming your way from the Known At Ones channel this year. I might even dabble in streaming again. I haven't decided. It's a big consistency commitment, but maybe once a week for like 3 hours could be really, really fun. I'll think about it. I've had a lot of things running through my head regarding the next year of Known At Ones, as well as our 4-year anniversary coming in April? May? Pretty sure it's April. Thank you for supporting me through the miserable year of 2023. And I know 2024 is gonna be better. Please don't make this video morbidly ironic, universe.